been sober for 15 months, so I sort of addressed all these addictions. Thank you. Yeah, it's been good, challenging. It's been good, but I've addressed. I sort of had to address my addictions in various areas, and 15 months ago, and what became obvious was that the first thing that happens, of course, and I knew this from my time working in rehab, is that you take all that stuff away. The feelings like, oh, hello.
Yeah, woo.
They're just like, yeah, bang, you know, they all resurface, and it's really difficult to sort of, because they come at you all at once, really, because they've been suppressed for the best part of 30, 40 years. And so they come up, and what I've learnt is then that's me, that's like real life. This is like my core, this is the real me, this is like I feel sad today, or I feel angry today, or I feel joy, or I feel happiness. And of course, when you're feeling joy and feeling happiness, that's a good place to be.
That's fine.
And you're like, well, I could do this for a while, this is good. But it's when the uncomfortable feelings come up that it's difficult, because I've always numbed out on those in the past. So that was the process. Like, all these feelings came up, and then the anxiety started to creep back in. There was definitely low days over the last year when I felt a bit depressed, but the anxiety's been more of a thing for me recently. When I got clean, I had to give everything up. The first thing you notice is all the feelings coming up, and it's, you know, and there's a lot. And joy and happiness and all those lovely things are great. You want them to hang around forever, but of course life's not like that. No. And it's when the sort of sadness and anger would come up that I find particularly difficult, because they're generally the things that I was sort of numbing out.
Uncomfy.
Yeah, the self-medication of whatever your drug of choice was, I guess. And I think also with addiction, there's a lot of control. You think you're in control. You're good, sort of controlling your own little bubble, and self-medicating in that way. But
then you suddenly feel. Not that I've had. I was a smoker. That's all I haven't really done anything else but cigarettes. But talking about then watching Judy last night with Renée Zellweger, I'm a huge fan of Judy Garland's. Is that you think you're in control until suddenly you realise you're not in control, and that is an incredibly frightening place to be. Because you're not in control of anything.
No, because it worked. It worked. As I say, it works for a while, and you're sort of driving the train. You think you're in control, and you are in control for a while, but then inevitably, addiction isn't sustained at the same level. It sort of increases because you need more and more and more. Because it just doesn't work on the same level for any length of time. And so eventually the train's driving
you're out of control.
And you're out of control.
Train going far too fast.
And you know it's going to crash.
No, awful.
So I jumped off. Not everybody gets the opportunity to jump off, so I'm very grateful for that. I jumped off and I was able to get some help. But all those feelings will then come up, which is incredibly difficult, and it's learning to cope with life. And all those feelings.
And what would you say, so if you say to somebody that feels they're on a train that's going far too far, when they know they're in trouble and they need to do, where should they go first?
You've got to, I was in denial for so long.
And I know it's frightening.
Yeah.
So whoever it is incredibly frightening. But it's more frightening in a way to continue on that train.
You've got to. I think you get to a point, people talk about rock bottoms, and I don't know if I hit my rock bottom. I feel like I might have just escaped that. Well, I was certainly heading that way. But first of all, you have got to sort of admit, I think, around addiction particularly, that you need help and that you can't do it on your own. And I think my anxiety was a big challenge because I'd always used to being in control, or at least thought I'd been in control within my addiction. Suddenly I had to sort of let go of all that. I didn't have all these things to sort of hold me up, and I had to sort of really let go. But the anxiety was still there. It was like, I need to know what's happening in the future. You know, I lost my job like a year ago, and I had to, you know, and I was getting really anxious about, well, what am I going to do next? And you know, do I want to stay in radio and TV, or do I want to try something else, or where I'm going to get, you know,
what am I going to do?
How am I going to pay these bills? Where's the money coming from? It's all that stuff. And what I learnt was that I think it's a balance. But I go back to that thing of like surrender and letting go. Like there was a lot of things that I couldn't control.
No, you can't control, can you?
You can't control.
No.
And one of them was feelings. And so there was this. I had a chat with a friend quite early on in my recovery. Described it as, if you sort of, like I went for my sea swim this morning, as I've been doing. I'd just like to point out it's October, if you're watching this. It's very cold.
I am going to join you there.
And yeah, it's a great thing to do, but my friend just sort of described feelings as if you can sort of like think about feelings as waves.
Yes.
Like that's all they are, you know, and then sometimes they come in and they're quite light and ripply and kind of peaceful, and other times they come in crashing
Smack
and they,
you right in the back of the head. Yeah.
But like to try and stop that, to try and stop feelings is a bit like walking into the sea and trying to push the waves back. You know, like it's not going to
work.
It's not going to work for you.
Snap, yeah.
So I had to really learn to sort of surrender and let go and just be.
And actually, because I have suffered with anxiety, and again try and run away from it. But actually, if you can sit there and let it just actually walk into it rather than run away from it.
Yeah, lean into it.
Yeah, lean into the uncomfortable feeling. It is not going to kill you.
No.
And that's what we're all terrified of.
Yeah. My steep learning curve is being able to sit with feelings and not have to like put.
I'm still not great. I think.
No, I think it's going to be a lifelong. I think it's going to be a lifelong thing. You know, for me, you know. But it was a real release for me, and I got a sense of freedom and peace and serenity to know that I don't have to put on the Guy Lloyd show every day, like even for my wife and son.
No, I know. I feel like Minnie Mouse sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm tap dancing with a big pair of ears, you know. And you know what I think the really bravest thing to do, and also to share with people, is it makes me really emotional because we all feel really awful something, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's all right.
We're humans.
We're all
very similar.
Yeah.
We're the same, really. You know, we all have different stories, but we all experience these feelings, but they're uncomfortable and they're difficult.
Really,
and we live in a world and a society where...
And we're all triggered by different things.
We're all triggered by different things, but we live in a society where, like, if you buy these clothes, you're going to look fantastic. If you're this certain amount of weight, you're going to look amazing. If you get the new iPhone 8, if you join Facebook and Instagram, there's all these distractions.
Yeah, well,
which I'm really guilty of as well. And I found my distractions in relationships, in drugs and alcohol, in my work. They've all been a really lovely distraction. You know, the radio and TV was like great fun.
Yeah.
But you know, there is a downside to it. And actually, we live in a society that's constantly trying to distract us and take us away from ourselves. So I really learned to sort of just try and spend some time with myself, find out who I am, be okay with, I'm feeling sad today, or I'm feeling angry. Talk about it with someone, but letting go of this whole sort of idea of I've got to be switched on all the time. I mean, I was driving back from Asda.
I mean, how can anyone cope with it?
It's exhausting. Yeah. It's exhausting for the people around you. I was driving back from Asda today, and my wife was like, "You don't have to tell jokes all the time, Guy." And it's like,
I love you.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we've just been to Asda. It's a Sunday.
Maybe I should just relax.
Just relax. I'm just going to shut up and watch some TV. You know, it's just like I'm like, you know. And it's been really good for me just to let go of that and just be me, but also have a support network around me to be able to pick up the phone, talk to someone and say, I feel really sad today, or I feel really angry, or you know, I've got grief, or whatever's coming up, and not run away from it. And I've had to really learn to do that, and I've learned to do that through talking to people, meditation, being okay on my own. That was one of the biggest things in my recovery. Was like I couldn't be on my own.
No.
And if I was on my own, I was just doing this. or
I know.
some kind of distraction.
You know what David Bowie says? I don't like being on my own, or what he said. I don't like being on my own. I don't like the company I keep, and that used to really make me laugh because I get it.
Yeah. I really learnt over the last year through meditation and sort of rambling on the downs and going for swims and things that I'm actually starting to like my own company.
Which is so
again, which is so good.
Because then it is so brilliant.
Yeah, because
I've got another dear friend that's been in recovery for years, and I've watched them go from a very uncomfortable place to the healthiest place of anyone I know. So I've known them from not being able to sit with themselves for 1 second, and I'm not over-exaggerating, to going, they have no drama in their life.
Yeah.
They don't want drama. It's about who you invite in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's actually, drama doesn't work for anybody, actually.
No.
So, and now I watch them sit so comfortable. It's just a really beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
And I think we think we're going to fall apart or something's going to go horribly wrong. It's just an uncomfortable place to be.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and you realise actually, I actually quite like myself.
I like the fact you mentioned drama because I bloody love a bit of drama.
No, but
drama's another distraction.
You know, it totally is.
It's another distraction.
Don't want drama,
you know, and I, within my addiction, I liked the drama. I moved towards the drama because as long as I had drama or TV
you didn't have to
or radio,
look at anything, did you?
I don't have to look at myself. You know, it's another distraction.
No.
So
and you're lovely to look at.
Thanks.
You're
Thanks.
okay.
I hope I'm coming out okay on camera. But yeah, it's just another distraction, and I found that once I was able to sort of. I kind of missed the drama at first. I think anyone in recovery will say that. Yeah. I missed the chaos. I missed the chaos of my partying ways, and I did miss the drama. But then you realise that's because if I don't have the drama, then I'm going to have to sit with these feelings.
Yeah, that don't feel very nice.
That don't feel very nice. And once you get comfortable with the feelings, and you start to have that sort of peace and serenity starts to come into your life. The last thing you want is drama.
Yeah.
Like today, I really don't want to go near any drama.
No.
I haven't got the time, I haven't got the energy. It's bad for me.
And I think it lifts that uncomfortable feeling, which is how I describe anxiety.
Yeah, it does.
Drama takes you to that kind of.
Yeah, it's another addictive thing, you know. And I think, as soon as you can let go and surrender to anything that's you haven't got any control over, anything that may or may not happen in the future, any story that you've concocted.
Yeah, because you're normally making it up.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah, is it really going to happen, guys? Is that going to happen?
9 times out of 10,
it isn't. You don't know.
It probably doesn't.
No.
It usually doesn't happen in the way that I think it's going to happen. So as soon as you can let go of all that, and of course meditation helps with that, about staying in the moment.
And you don't even have to do it that long. If you download Headspace on your phone, which I should be doing every day, is 10 minutes.
I do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the night.
10 minutes. And if you haven't got time to do that, then you better look at your day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I haven't been doing it at night as well, but I did it in the morning, so maybe I most probably should, because I always benefit from it, and it's 10 minutes. So maybe 20 minutes morning and night.
Yeah. It's a way of checking in with yourself. So I went to the doctors recently about a physical ailment, and I know that I've got 10 minutes, and I'll just reel it all off, and then I'm gone, pick up my medication on it. And for me, this is like the mental equivalent, the emotional equivalent. I'm going to sit down on my own before I start my day, usually before anyone else gets up in the house, so I've got some peace. Yeah. And I'm just going to sit for 10 minutes and just see what comes up, see how I am, and if I'm feeling a bit fragile today, I'm going to bring in some self-care, you know. Yeah. If I'm feeling good, then that's lovely too. Perhaps I can spread that around a bit around the people around, near me. So. It's a really good way of just checking in with yourself and just seeing where you're at. Yeah. It's a self-care thing, but other people will benefit from it, Yeah. My wife far prefers me being a meditating hippie than she does to the drama queen addict. Obviously, everyone benefits from it. So yeah, that's a huge part of it for me. And when I'm able to do that, when I'm able to just be in the moment, because let's face it, none of us know if we're going to be here tomorrow or this afternoon or this evening or whatever. If you can sit in the moment, then
that's a very healthy place to be sitting.
Yeah, it really cuts out the depression looking back, and it cuts out the anxiety looking forward. For me.
It's about here.
This is all we've got.
Yeah.
This moment is all we've really got, and that's a really hard thing to practice. I know that's going to be a lifelong challenge.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It is a lifelong challenge. What I would like to say, here's to the moment. Thank you so much for coming and being so honest.
Pleasure. Thanks.
It's just about being on. No, I really, really, really appreciate it. I think you're doing amazingly well. I think you've been incredibly brave.
Thanks, Sophie.
Thanks for sharing it. You rock.
Pleasure. Thank you.
So talk.
Thank you.
So talk.
So talk.